Hey guys, I'm back with another video. We're on PC this time, so a little bit of an interesting video today. Finally got my hands on the PC copy. Had a friend over who had happened to never play a racing game before, so I was like, you know what, this can be a nice little pre-review to my game with some of my final testings and just things like how accessible is Forza as a game, because that's its main goal in life. It's not meant to be the next iRacing. It's meant to be something everybody loves and can play, and you can play as serious as iRacing, or at least pretty close, or as casual as something like Need for Speed, where you can just pick up the game and play. So right now I'm just having my friend look through my car collection and just see what's there. Just, she's never played a racing game before, ever, like ever. So this will be her first laps, and I'm going to have her on super easy mode first, and we'll see what kind of lap time she can get. We'll see her lap, and then we're going to have me on my own personal settings doing a lap and see how much faster I can go in terms of, like, a semi-pro level, I would say. And then we're going to have her go back and do another set of laps, but on easy instead of super easy, so that she actually has to break herself and see how that familiarized her with the game and things like that, and see how much slower or potentially faster she is. And then while those laps are going on, I'm going to talk to you guys about my opinions about the game, what I think about it so far, just like a little warm-up to my full review, which I will be starting really soon. I've had quite an extensive amount of time with the game. You can see I have a bunch of cars here. Some were gained using a method that is probably somewhat well known, but I will not put on my channel. Literally used it on this account for the sole purpose of being able to get through some more of the game without having to worry about microtransactions later and other things they might do. And I know a lot of people have already been upset about that and how they implemented VIP, and they are taking steps to change that as well. So we'll see how that goes. Going to be really interesting review per se, because I'm going to be taking many different angles on this game and not just quantifying it based on what certain fans of the game may think of the game as, or what casual gamers might think of the game. I'm going to be looking at it from multiple different angles. So she ended up picking the Bugatti, which I find really interesting, because this car is ridiculous to get around a track. It is all-wheel drive, it has way too much horsepower, it understeers around everything. It is literally the perfect car for this. It could not be any better of a choice. I did not influence this decision at all. She is just the average human being that is super impressed by a Bugatti. So really going to be awesome to see how this goes. So there's the assist, super easy, her first 2 laps ever in a racing game. I'm only going to show 1 lap of super easy, then I'm going to show 1 lap of my run, and then I'm going to show 1 lap of the easy mode. And as I said, while those laps are going on, I'm going to give you guys a little hint about my opinions of the game and what I think. So with that being said, let's get to the track. Alright, so here we are. She's taking the Bugatti around Dubai with super easy on. Also, I do apologize if there's any background noise, because it is Canadian Thanksgiving and I do have relatives over, so you may hear some background noise at some point. Nothing I can really do about it. I really wanted to get this video out today, so just to get that out of the way. So as you can see, the assists are really helping her get around the track right now. She just totally barreled into that corner. The assists totally saved her. So you'll just keep seeing as she does this lap that as time goes on, she's getting really used to the track. She's slowing down by herself, but the game is still helping. That's the big point here, is it's really accessible to players. So that's something I will be touching on in my full review of the game, is it's really accessible. And that's something I'm going to keep stressing in my review, is that even if you have no experience driving at all, even in real life, she has no real driving experience, no digital driving experience, nothing. So this is her first time, and is really actually quite impressive for how the game can help out with that. So I mentioned earlier the VIP reward system, that's getting a little bit fixed. The extra cars and the money was just a little bit of a sorry. They are permanently doubling the credits in the near future. I don't know when that's going to happen, but that is happening for sure, 100%. Some other things, the actual quality of driving in this game really strikes this weird balance where you might not be totally satisfied if you're driving the game, let's say on a wheel, because it is inherently made for a controller and it feels way more intuitive on a controller than it does on a wheel. I haven't personally had really any time on the wheel. I just know some other people who have had time on the wheel. The last time I played Forza on a wheel was Forza 6, and that felt pretty similar to Forza 7, I would say, in terms of overall driving mechanics. So I kind of know what issues will arise with 7, and I'm guessing that the lift-off oversteer is going to be a really big issue in this game as well, again, with the wheel setup. Not sure if there's a way to get around that, but hopefully there is. I mean, maybe I'll get my hands on a wheel sometime soon. That's just how it's going to be. But otherwise, other than that, playing with all the assists off on a controller feels amazing, especially with sim steering, the twitchiness, if you really want to get into the feeling of the vehicle. If you throw it into first-person cockpit mode and you turn on the simulation, camera shake, and everything like that, it is really crazy in terms of like gameplay. Like, it feels awesome. Just a quick mention there's her ghost from the first lap, so super on par, like really consistent laps with super easy. 244.7. So not bad at all, especially for what just went on. And we're gonna go on to my lap now. And here we are, my lap. So cockpit mode, basically no assists, just the driving line. I think I have clutch off. I'm not quite sure. Really slipping my mind what my assists were. But here we go. Flying lap, going right into it. Hard into the first corner. And I'm just pushing the car as wide as it'll go, really, for the whole lap. I mean, I'm sure there's time to be made, but I really put in quite a bit of effort into this lap. So back to what I was saying about the driving physics, you can really get control of the vehicle if you just turn the assists off and are willing to mess around a little bit, and maybe make some mistakes, crash, lock your brakes up. I mean, the challenge is there if you want the challenge. But as I showed in the first lap in this video, on super easy mode, you can have no experience and still have a blast playing this game. And that is what makes Forza, in my opinion, and in their opinion, and in a lot of people's opinions, you know, they keep winning best driving game, is that it is the most fun and accessible game for the wide range of people. I mean, yeah, okay, Project Cars definitely has better driving physics. On console, that experience is tarnished with lag and bugs, and I mean on PC, it's still, I mean, it started out as a crowdfunded game, so it's not going to be perfect. But games like that, games like iRacing, all those other PC titles, there's like a whole ton of them, I'm not really going to get into them, but those are super hardcore sims. And all those sims have really good AI, with the exception of maybe Project Cars. And that's something where Forza lacks, is the AI in this game are really inconsistent. I know they're based off of actual people who drive, but a lot of the people who play this game don't actually care very much. And because it's a game, they're going to go start hitting people and not caring, and that reflects in everyone else's races, and it's a really bad system. Even when you limit the drive-atar aggression, the killer of the AI in that system, even on unbeatable difficulty, is the first corner-itis, which is a big problem in almost every racing game. That's not a hardcore PC sim, and even some hardcore PC sims, is that they just all slow down and bunch up on the first corner. And really, your whole race is determined by that first corner, if you can get past most of the field. And another thing with Forza AI is, from the last 3 difficulties up, even on some of the lower difficulties, I'm sure, is the first 3 guys are just going to drive away. I mean, the third guy in third's going to be pulling, guy in second's going to be pulling a ton more than that, and the guy in first is going to be miles ahead. So you're going to have to be faster than the rest. And there's my lap, 32:32. So about 12 seconds faster, and I was really pushing it that time. So that's actually a really respectable outing for the super easy difficulty, and actually quite surprising. So that's exactly what I mean. It's really pick up and play. It's really accessible. The AI is really frustrating. That's probably my biggest issue with this game. Not the mod packs, not the crates, not whatever else. The AI is the biggest letdown in this game, because the career mode is so good. And I'm going to go into detail in my full review about everything the career mode entails and all the little nitpicky things about the AI and things like that. But the career mode is amazing. It's the best sense of progression I've had in a racing game in a really, really long time. And it is just incredible. And like, I can't really compare it to anything else. Like, it's probably one of my most appreciated progression systems in a long, long time. Especially being able to choose the race distance. That's a first for Forza. I mean, that's just awesome. Quick interruption, we are getting into the easy difficulty lap, starting from the end of lap 1, going into lap 2, because she does actually make a mistake here into the tire wall. So right away you're seeing it, you know, she's starting to have to like learn things. Didn't know how to reverse, had to teach her that really quick. But things like that, you know, she knows the game can be fun now that she's played it on super easy, and she's actually, you know, kind of up to the challenge, making her way around the track, learning really quickly. And, you know, the difference between super easy and this easy being the previous most assisted way to get around the track, other than a little bit of steering and braking, which in my opinion never really helped too much in the previous Forzas. The super easy setting is really like where it's at. It is really honestly that easy. Even on oval tracks, it's just hold the right trigger and go. So yeah, so here's her lap, enjoy that. As I was saying, the career mode, incredible sense of progression. It's just amazing, and the AI just totally crushes that. Like, I can't, the number of times even in my own videos where I have to restart and cut things out, like I can't do one take career things, which I would love to do. If the AI was more consistent, I would love to do that and, you know, talk through loading screens and do other things like that, but the AI is just so inconsistent in this game, and I'm just going to stop there because I'm going to save that rant for my full review. Onto some kind of meh things, or just like, it's okay, it's fine. I really don't mind the driver gear system, the mod crate system, and like all that stuff. Personally, myself, and I know a lot of other people who play Forza a lot, end up having stockpiles of money like months into this game being out. And you know what? People who are actually going to want to collect everything play the game that much, in my opinion, and they're going to have credits to spare. And it's just, before this, the complaint was, I have all these credits, we want more cars. Now they gave you more cars, they gave you more ways to get other things. I think the driver gear thing is really cool. They still added a good number of tracks to the game, more than they added from 5 to 6, if you don't include the DLCs they released during 5. So yeah, I mean, it's awesome. Like, it can't be that bad, right? I mean, I really don't mind system. Okay, I mean, yeah, they're gonna add a pay system to that later, but you guys have to realize that there are people who have full-time jobs and can't sit down and play 6 hours a day of Forza. You know, people who are gonna look into these reviews are a little bit more than, you know, casual gamer. A casual gamer plays maybe like an hour a day, and a game this big, you know, it's really hard to get your enjoyment out of it only playing it like an hour a day. That's why mobile games are so popular, because people are working and they want to enjoy things and progress and have this sense of, like, you know, doing really good at a game, and they can just skip things like in Clash of Clans or whatever. They can, like, you know, buy into just a quicker sense of progression and enjoy more of the game that they would otherwise never get to do because they're busy all the time, right? And I think that's great, because even, I think, as hardcore gamers now get older, well, you'll start to realize that this pay into system, as long as you're not getting some kind of huge advantage, is actually really helpful. So that's just my overall opinion on the driving pay system, AI, things like that. The UI in this game is great. I really like the addition of the camera view without the steering wheel. That's really nice for wheel players. And the last thing I'm going to touch on is this is probably the most beautiful racing game I think I've ever played on PC. Like, this is PC gameplay running at 1080 Ultra 60. And there's her easy lap, and it is like 15 seconds slower. So this game is quite accessible, and I think that was a really fun experiment. And yeah, as I was saying, the game looks great. There's a lot of things I have to say about this game. The review will be coming out within the next, let's say, half a week. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you did, dislike and comment if you didn't, subscribe if you want to see more. And I will see you guys on the next one.